Man, his faces are awful.
Oh, Liefeld sucks as an artist.
Everyone's, lips are gone and...
Yeah, it's just exposed teeth. Just awful.
Yeah, it's terrible, man.
Everything's really stretched with Rob. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Blitzkrieg POP. This is episode 49.5.
Or 0.1. I don't know how Marvel does that now.
0.2, 0.8. I don't know.
Basically,
it's like a CGC grade.
Yeah, it's not episode 50.
It's not episode 50 yet.
Because we're having trouble working on that.
Well, we're having trouble getting people in the same room.
Yeah, a lot of COVID stuff, as you listeners understand, especially if you're overseas. We're getting hit hard right now in the Midwest.
And the shit is everywhere.
And it's everywhere. So we got people that can't be here because they've either been exposed to COVID or someone they know has COVID or
it's nuts.
Someone at work has COVID.
So it's just me, Adam.
And me, Alex.
And we are trying to put together something hopefully fun.
Me, Adam, me, Alex.
Me, Adam, me, Alex.
What about meow?
Me, Alex. Meowlex.
Meowlex. And it is odd, though, doing it with just you, even though we podcast when we talk.
That's all we do.
That's all we've ever done.
That's all we... Yeah, so, you're right.
But I'm like, where's Munch and where's... Well, AJ's not usually here.
It feels a little lonely.
It does. And the only thing different is it feels like I'm just wearing headphones and talking into a mic.
Yeah, and you're just talking to me like we always do.
If we were out there smoking,
because we are business partners.
Yeah,
we talk a lot.
We talk a lot.
But
we're brothers.
Yeah, we are brothers.
I wonder if we've talked about us being brothers a bunch.
I don't think we've talked about it very much because we usually have something on the agenda.
Something on the agenda.
Like what kind of brotherly thing could we talk about?
How mom loves you more than me? I don't know.
I mean, you've made wild claims, about getting me into things, and
that's true. It's all true what I say. But I wouldn't be who I am without my older brother.
I feel like that's a two-way street.
Yeah. Well, This is 2021.
Yes, it is officially.
We're 7 days in, or is it 8? 7
days.
And I guess last year more than any other year that I can recall. People thought at midnight it's this clean slate.
Oh, on December 31st.
Yeah, and I'm going, guys, it's not that. That's not how it works.
That's not how disease works.
And especially, we just had the raid on the Capitol.
Oh my God!
And
yeah,
we're getting off to a good start here. 2021 is maybe going to be more bonkers than 20.
We're absolutely going to keep politics off this show,
always. But it is bonkers, no matter where you stand.
Insanity. I feel like there are great reasons to storm the Capitol, and that the ones that they had were not the good ones.
Those aren't good ones.
I feel like
I agree with that too.
I feel like there are plenty of great reasons to do that, but they didn't have any of those.
It seems like Dad's been talking about that since we were kids.
Just bulldoze that motherfucker into the Potomac.
Yeah, just bulldoze that motherfucker.
So what have you been up to? Because we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
It's just been me flying solo, and I'm not sure it's very good.
I've been listening to your reviews, and I like them.
I'm sorry that you've been.
I like them.
I'm still working on it. It's not where I want it to be.
Having an inferiority complex, I'm always like, this show's way better without me. So I listen to it with just you, and I'm like, this is great.
No, I don't know about that.
I really like your reviews. I think they're good.
Well, everything I have to script it because I have no one to talk to.
Right.
So there's no give and take.
I've noticed the vein doesn't come out when you're alone.
Well, I have no one to talk to. I'm by myself.
You, Adam.
Yeah, fuck you, Adam. Your fucking opinion sucks.
Yeah. You need somebody to bounce things off of. And I'm like the blob.
So when I'm doing these by myself, it's very, I kind of have to decide what I'm gonna say and how I'm gonna say it, and then hit it.
Yeah, and I think you've done a good job.
Well, thanks.
When you ask what I'm doing, as you know, and we don't talk about a whole lot, but I've been running the store during the holidays.
Yeah, I know, and I know that's been insane.
And it's been insane, and you know, I think a lot of our listeners live here in town, but
I think most
but
do.
a lot of them don't.
That's
so
true.
For you guys that don't live in town, you know, me and Adam own Infinite Collectibles, and we sell comic books and
on the
video
south
games.
side of Duke or Nucky.
South side, boy, south side
till I die.
Yeah, and we have been very fortunate and been very, very busy. Very busy.
Yeah.
And so it's easy for me to disconnect completely, and I apologize, like, because I'll be working and then go home and just be done with it.
I understand.
Not done with this stuff, but just during that time of year.
Oh,
and it's
absolutely.
been even more with people having the stimulus checks.
And I think that's why I've been trying to keep something going
Yeah.
with the Blitzkrieg Pop, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's been very hard. I mean, since we announced 50 coming up, it's been almost near impossible to get together.
Yeah, it has.
So,
and we'll
and of course we did do the live thing.
Yeah, we did. That's the last time that
It was we did a Facebook live.
that was.
Where I lost my shit about
Was
Thor.
that before Christmas?
That was before Christmas.
Or was that? Yeah. Well, I really had fun then. That was fun.
It was fun. I mean, I got a little pissy.
Now I did. I have been reading Marvel Adventures Spider-Man, and it's
really the IDW series.
It would be IDW today, but it was like a digest sized.
Oh, you're reading the old ones.
Yeah, and I really like it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I got inspired to read it, and because it's fun. You know,
yeah. I mean, it's
like some of the Spider-Man stuff
kids,
that I like is pretty adult themed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Craven's
like
Last Hunt. Yeah, well, yeah, when you say adult themed, but Craven's Last Hunt is one of my favorite things, and it's very dark.
But it's very it has that I think it's a Web of Spider-Man cover where he's coming up out of the grave.
Yeah, and he's in a grave. Spoiler alert, because Craven fucking buries him alive.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
To take over the spider.
I'd say it's a classic Spider-Man storyline.
Absolutely. And it's also very intense. Having said that, there's a place for that.
Sure.
But with the year we had in the last year, it's not been for me. I haven't listened to Slayer in a year. You know, like, I like Slayer, right? World Painted Blood. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
No,
I want to hear, like, fucking, you know, Dookie by Green Day.
Fucking Best Coast.
Yeah, like, I've been back on, like, Blink-182 because it's so poppy that it almost annoys me.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm like, it feels better than, you know, Megadeth or something.
Dark shit.
Yeah, dystopia. I mean, come on. Are we living in that?
We kind of are.
You know, so I haven't been metal in a while, and I'm also just going like, man, you know, these darker stories. You know, I love crime novels.
I know you
shit.
do.
I haven't done none of that.
If your famous quote is, "I love crime."
I love crime. I used to watch like murder documentaries. I know way too much terrible shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I took a break from all that in the last year. So having said that, I've focused more back on the Ninja Turtles and fun Spider-Man stories. This Spider-Man story is epic.
It's
I don't remember if it's, you know, I don't remember the name of it. Maybe you can edit it in there.
That would be Marvel Adventures Spider-Man Volume 9, Fiercest Foes.
It's a story by Fred Van Lint.
Oh, Fred Van Lint's
and
awesome.
He's great. And it starts with Peter painting a spare bedroom at Aunt May's house.
Nice.
And she's telling him that they have a renter moving in. And you know, this is just Silver Age as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's Dr. Octopus.
Of course. Of course.
And I just love that. I was telling the kids about it, and they're like, that sounds awesome. I'm like, all your anime stuff's based on this. You need to check it out.
Not all of it.
Not all of it, but the real fun, cool stuff. And that's not a knock on it, but that has the same type of vibe. Truth be told,
superhero stuff.
The fun stuff, you know, like
the superhero stuff does.
I'm really referencing My Hero stuff.
Right.
And it has that kind of vibe. And what happens is Peter, you know, tries to pretend that that's okay, and he's at school the next day, and he can't pay attention and stuff because he's worried that
he knows Doc Ock's in his house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're like talking about something really serious, and he raises his hand, and the teacher's like, "Mr. Parker, one of the smartest students, what's the answer?" And he's like, "I gotta pee." So they give him a hall pass. He leaves. He's Spider-Man. He sees Doc Ock holding Aunt May up in the air with his arms. He jumps in and punches him and all this stuff. But it turns out he was just holding her up so she could hedge the trees.
Oh, so
and it's just great.
Fred Van Lint.
It's just great, man.
Totally.
I really recommend it. You'll have to put the name in here after.
He has
we edit it.
a book that he did for what's the one that has Exo Man of War? Valiant,
yeah.
Quantum and Woody.
I heard that's really good.
It's funny as fuck.
Is that like Archer and Armstrong?
It's similar. Quantum and Woody are two boners that are half brothers that get into some kind of accident where they have superpowers, and they try to be a team, and they can't stop arguing.
Right.
I
like that. And we know the arguing trope comes from the Fantastic Four.
Oh man, calling it a trope. It wasn't then.
It wasn't a trope.
Yeah, it wasn't at that point.
So I've been busy at store and then just trying to hang out and just do Christmas and
can't really hang out.
Yeah. It's been tough. I haven't struggled like I'm not like depressed or something. Yeah. But it's just you just got to keep moving, keep swimming.
You do?
Yeah,
that's a
keep
fact.
Moving. I've worked on Shara's chicken coop the last 2 days. I built a door that slides.
Oh,
and it's really nice looking.
Using your man skills.
Yeah, I went and I got a new drill set because I never have any drill bits.
Classic. I don't either.
I don't have anything.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just went. Now that I've got a nice garage and things, I bought not nothing nice, but a DeWalt set or something. And I should have went for the battery powered one because I always got to go up on that damn hill.
Oh wait, you got to drag an extension cord out?
Yeah, so I got to get an extension.
No.
Yeah, so I do all my work in the little shop, but sometimes I need to get way up there and do it. But
yeah, right.
I enjoyed stuff like that. And I tell myself, Sharon notices that there's different degrees. Like sometimes I'll be really pissy about a project. I'm pissy about a project if I don't have everything I need. If I plan that project, like she said she wanted me to build her a door, I said, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I didn't just jump into it. I planned out what I needed. I had all my tools there. And it went well.
Okay. I was about to say, it usually goes like this. I plan out what I need, and then I need something else.
Yeah, no, this went well. And that's typically my style. If I jump in, I'm going to cuss. I'm going to be mad. If I wasn't prepared for it, all that kind of stuff. Now, it has to be an emergency for me to respond.
Sure.
So, but I need help. I need to figure out why my mower's throwing its belt off before we get to mowing season.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I don't know. Didn't you and Dad look at that last year?
We never looked at it.
Oh, okay.
I borrowed Luke's mower until the summer was over.
Right on.
But I know all that doesn't matter. But I'm having fun. What about you?
Oh, man. I just finished. You mentioned anime. I just finished one with the kids. The Promised Neverland, which when they initially told me about it, I was like, girls, that sounds fucked up. Like, it's about these kids that are being raised on farms to be eaten.
That's odd.
By aliens. And
that's weird.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. The smarter they are, the more desirable they are.
To eat?
To eat.
Oh, boy.
At the age of 12, they're harvested.
This makes me feel weird.
It's an odd concept, but man, I'm telling you, the character development and everything is so fucking good.
I'm assuming they don't get eaten. What's that on?
That's on Netflix. It's really fucking good.
I borrowed Mom's Netflix code so I could watch Cobra Kai with the kids.
I have not watched Cobra Kai season 3 yet.
So far, it's better than 2.
I didn't like 2.
I thought 2 had a little weakness in it.
I thought 2 was too teen drama-y. I'm not interested in that.
So far, 3 is what I wanted 2 to be, and it's more about Daniel and
Good,
Johnny.
Because I felt 2 just strayed too much. I don't give a shit about the kids.
I don't mind the kids. It's part of the next generation, but I want to see Daniel and Johnny team up because they keep teasing.
They're almost there.
They're almost there, and it's always Daniel. I'll be honest. He's always the one that's like shitty about it, and Johnny looks like we are Hayden, so I give him a pass.
He does a little bit.
I told Shara, I think Shara said last night that he's a cute-looking guy.
Who?
Johnny. And I was like, he looks like a sponge or something.
I guess he was. I mean, I guess he could be.
He was in European Vacation, remember?
Yeah, he was. He was the shitty boyfriend.
Yeah. But no, I've not seen a whole lot of things. I watched Married with Children, Golden Girls. I'm like in this funk where I can't find a new thing to watch.
There's lots of good anime on Netflix. I mean, they're doing their best to compete with. I mean,
Crunchyroll.
Sony just bought Crunchyroll, and they already owned Funimation, so now they own the two biggest anime streaming platforms on the face of the planet.
Well, look, I've seen Schitt's Creek. I've seen The Office.
Schitt's Creek is
seen
good.
Parks and Rec. I've seen Seinfeld. I've seen Friends. I've seen, you know what I mean? And I'm like, golly. So I've seen Superstore. I've seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I just needed something. Golden Girls I watched.
Golden Girls is great.
I'm on Married with Children now, which is great.
What's that on?
Hulu.
Oh, okay.
It's great. And, you know, a lot of it you didn't absorb when you were 10.
A lot of the jokes went over your head.
Yeah. You know, when I was that age, I thought Kelly was the hotter one, but it's definitely...
it's definitely Peggy.
It's definitely Peggy. My God.
Yeah, you ain't shitting.
Son of a
I
bitch.
can't... Katie Seagal.
Woo!
And she's the voice of... the one-eyed chick in
Futurama. She's also in Sons of Anarchy, Munch's favorite. But man, I love Married with Children. A lot of that went over my head, so it's like new content. Basically.
Speaking of new content. I've been reading this new Star Wars novel, The Light of the Jedi.
Love it.
Set in the High Republic.
The Light of the Jedi.
I love it, man.
I like that.
It's been so much cool shit. There's so many Jedi and there's so many species of Jedi. Like, that's something, because, you know, the movies basically take place when it's all done. It's all dead.
Yeah, no, it sucks.
You know, so this is 400 years before that or whatever.
Yeah, where they're booming.
I've had to sit there with my phone and because I'll read somebody's race and go, well, what the fuck is that? And I gotta Google it real quick. There's been like Derosians, you know, which are like the blue guys with the big red eyes.
Yeah.
There's a female Derosian that's a Jedi in it.
That's cool, man. I saw a Wookiee.
Yes. Yeah, there's a Wookiee. The Wookiee's a Padawan.
Is it from Kashyyyk?
Yeah, it's from Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
I think all Wookiees are from Kashyyyk.
They're all from Kashyyyk.
Yeah, Kashyyyk, however you say it. There's Shistavanians, the ones that look like werewolves.
Oh, okay.
You know
Who's
what I'm
the
talking
alien that's like got a big ass head?
about? Slughead?
No, but then they got like black equipment on their face.
Black equipment.
It's on the cover of one of them books. I can't remember what they're called. Like, they look really creepy to me.
Wait, they have like black like shit on their faces and stuff and like really weird looking mouths? They're Keldors from planet Doran. Plo Koon is the famous Jedi Master and member of the Jedi Council that Alex is referring to.
I think their mouths are covered up with like equipment.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
They look like they're almost wearing sunglasses.
Damn it. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know the race you're talking about. I can't think of their names,
like it's
though.
like this. And
yeah,
it like
I know what you're talking about.
Like points down like a beak.
Mm-hmm,
yeah, they look cool.
I don't know what they're called,
I think they're Jedi. There might be one on the council in the prequels.
I think you're right. Because there's Ithorians in this stuff. Twi'lek, Wookiee, of course, like you said. There's new ships. There's new locations.
And how old is Yoda?
He's about 200, I believe.
Damn.
Or so, something like that.
Young he is.
Yeah, he still looks old and shitty.
Because he's 200.
But yeah, it's
yeah, Grogu looks old and he's 50.
Well, he doesn't look old.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways he does. Like little white hairs on his head.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess they're just bald little. They look like they have nutsack foreheads.
Yeah, I always kind of thought of Yoda like having long hair and shit.
I think
like Hogan hair.
I had seen a picture. Now the one that's gonna really follow Yoda is the
Adventures.
Is the High Republic Adventures comic coming out from IDW and Marvel.
I'm gonna be into that.
And
too.
that one's gonna follow like Yoda on a mission. So
and that's a mini series though.
Yes, the new comic that came out, High Republic. Yoda's in it very briefly because the whole premise of the novel, The Light of the Jedi, is they've built this place called Starlight Beacon that's in the Outer Rim because there's nothing. There's no help for anyone. So the Jedi have built this thing so that they can respond to...
They're basically the Green Lanterns.
Yeah, kind of. They're out there to respond to distress.
Yeah. And
the first thing that happens right as the thing is set up is they get called to this place called the Hetzal system where a ship has broken apart in hyperspace, a giant freighter, and it's coming out of hyperspace like light speed missiles, and the Jedi are there trying to divert all this
That's cool.
debris and shit from hitting the planets and fucking killing all these
in the
people and
comic
stuff.
book?
Now that's in the novel.
Well, that's cool, man. I want to read that High Republic. I'm a Jedi fan.
The comic's been good. I mean, of course, it's one issue in. Like, you know, a comic book and a novel, two different things.
At a comic book, you know, you got to give it 3 issues.
You got to, I think, you know, 6 is a story arc, basically, so it can be collected into trade.
And is it ongoing?
Yes, it's an ongoing.
That's cool, man.
So
I've never been more excited about Star Wars and Marvel. So in our store, High Republic sold out immediately through pre-orders. Having said that, we have got second prints coming up.
Okay.
And if anybody wants them, you just message us. Okay.
I think it's going to be fantastic. I mean, it's a whole new era of Star Wars.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's not even like Mandalorian.
Right.
Like, this is like an entirely new
thing. And it's awesome because you still get a legacy character in there.
Yeah, I mean, Yoda's in there, yeah.
I like that.
Well, you know, we don't know shit about Yoda.
I know. It's awesome. So, we know about Grogu.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Not much.
Not much. But so if you guys are interested in a second print, hit us up through Facebook or Instagram or any of the other myriad of
Facebook / Infinite Paducah. Also Facebook / That's a Butt.
That's a Butt. Or I think on Instagram we're Infinite Paducah.
Infinite Paducah. Okay.
And,
I don't know shit about Instagram.
Or you can call the store 270-415-5859.
Ask us if we have Battletoads, because we probably do.
During the pandemic, I'll probably be there.
Yeah, right.
But anyways, I had a lot of people wanting second prints because they were behind on it. No, you know how this goes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it happens.
It happens.
I think we ordered like 12 or so.
Yeah, and there was allocations on them. So
gotcha.
Yeah, that sucks. But it is what it is.
But it's a great book. I am going to be talking about it soon. So, man, you know, I was flipping through the new Marvel previews that came out, last week or this week?
Yeah, January for March.
Yeah, okay, yeah, for product shipping. And
why does it say number 7 on it?
And they are numbered. Do you know that I have actually seen this, Alex.
People selling these things?
People are selling, especially the one that has Miles Morales on the cover as his first appearance.
Well, how can it be number 7 then?
Well, those are issues. It's by volume even. If you go to the inside of it, it says volume, whatever it is, number 7.
Me.
No. It's published just like a comic.
Does this have an indicia?
It's at the back of it, I think.
Oh my gosh. I never knew this.
Well, there are a lot of people that claim that those are first appearances of characters.
Marvel previews number 7. For number 7 to be in
comics.
January.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
number 7 since they restarted, maybe. You know, number 7 since Diamond came back.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, I was flipping through there, and, you know, I'd already seen it, that Beta Ray Bill book coming out by Daniel Warren Johnson. Warren Johnson, who is famous for Murder Falcon and Extremity.
Adam loved Murder Falcon.
I fucking did. Well, how could you not, man? Murder Falcon is actually the same creative team as this Beta Ray Bill book. And, I mean, in Murder Falcon, space-time and reality have been rent asunder, and evil creatures are attacking the earth and feeding off mankind's anxiety and cruelty and greed. And then you enter Jake, a metalhead who, while riding a riff, accidentally summons a humanoid falcon with a metal arm that just so happens to have a penchant for kicking monster ass.
It sounds amazing.
I mean, how could you not? I mean, and then they put together a plan to get Jake's old band back together, give them each an instrument that connects to a familiar like Murder Falcon, so they can have a whole team.
I love it.
Of ass-kicking anthropomorphic animals.
It's awesome.
That, yeah, it's.
But that, I mean, this guy was made for Beta Ray Bill.
This is the same creative teams. What I'm getting at. Daniel Warren Johnson is that rare writer-artist that they actually let write and draw his own stuff.
I see that.
He just got done with a book on for DC, Wonder Woman, Dead Earth.
Oh, he did Dead Earth?
Yeah, which was just, that was the Black Label oversized book, and it was beautiful.
Man, the pencils on this Beta Ray Bill are just...
I'm telling you, Daniel Warren Johnson's one of my very favorites. His book Extremity is really good, too.
Oh, yeah. I like how big he's got Beta looking.
He looks really buff. But this guy, I mean, Daniel Warren Johnson teamed up with Mike Spicer. I mean, they're just a phenomenal creative team. And as soon as I saw it announced, man, I sent the message to our group chat and said, I have to have this book. Like, make sure this book is in my pull list. Donnie Cates recently said in an interview, this Beta Ray Bill book Daniel has built is special and beautiful and heartfelt and chainsaw razor blade guitar riff to your bones fucking metal. You aren't ready.
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, as a just a huge Beta Ray Bill fan, I mean, hell, Beta Ray Bill may actually be my favorite Marvel character.
I mean, that's cool.
Love BRB. I actually follow Walter Simonson on Facebook, and maybe in preparation for this, I don't know, but he just recently posted an interview he had done where they were asking him why he named him Beta Ray Bill, and he said, because it sounds better than Beta Ray Jones and Beta Ray Smith, because, the idea was Beta Ray was he was the everyman of the Corbinites.
Yeah. So he's got a common name.
So he has a common name, and his name is Bill, yeah. And, of course, beta rays are associated with alpha rays and gamma rays, and, I mean,
I just love him.
I do, too.
Something cool about the way that Daniel Warren Johnson draws him is he's got vulnerability, but he's also super huge.
He's massive, yeah. I think he totally gets it. Now, here's the setup for the book, though. The synopsis. Beta Ray Bill is tired of playing second fiddle to Thor. And with Stormbreaker recently destroyed by Thor, no less, tensions are higher than ever. The mighty Corbinite must strike out in search of a new weapon and a new destiny, assuming he can first defeat a nullified Fin Fang Foom. That sounds fucking epic.
So when did Thor break Stormbreaker?
That was in Thor number 3 or 4 from Donnie Cates.
Oh, I read that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
It's awesome. Beta Ray goes to stop him from being Galactus' herald.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then Thor's like, fuck you don't know what's going on here, step aside. And he's like, I'm not going to let you go down this path that I've already went down once.
Yeah. I like that they've got him in kind of like a Roman-esque helmet.
I do too. I really dug that.
Like it's got red.
I'm not sure that's not Klein's design for
What's that? Stegman's doing covers too.
Variants. Yeah, Stegman.
And Stegman is, our main guy over at Venom.
I don't think it fits Beta Ray Bill, though. It's kind of an anime style, honestly, Stegman.
I'll be honest, I think it fits because that's Stegman right there.
Oh, okay. Well, damn, maybe it does fit.
That one's Daniel.
I know what his is.
That, if you...
you guys,
I know the listeners can't hear this.
Try to post some pictures of this for you.
But if I cover that up, it's just Venom.
It kind of is. Is that Bill or is that Fin Fang Foom?
It's Bill.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know if I like that.
But the way he draws Venom is very unique.
Yeah, he does. The way he draws his mouth.
And that's why I think he's good on that Venom run.
So, cover A, all the interior and all the writing is all Daniel Warren Johnson. He's like Walter Simonson in that he writes and draws his own stuff. I couldn't be more excited for this, though. I almost pissed my pants. I mean, I like
1 of 5.
Goosebumps. Yes.
I like that.
I like that, too. It is a miniseries.
It's like with Silver Surfer, who's my cosmic go-to.
Whew.
I love Bill. I'm not, taking anything away from him. But Silver Surfer does it for me in a way that I just can't explain.
Right.
Having said that, he can't hold his own book for long. He can. It seems like the numbers don't work out.
No, yeah, you're right. What doesn't work out is when it gets to that inevitable place where they have to change creators.
Yep.
And then it goes downhill.
And Silver Surfer, unless it's a cosmic event, doesn't need tie-in books.
I agree. Yeah.
And one thing that I really liked about Greg Pak working on Hulk was they expanded Marvel Universe into places we never saw before. Sakaar.
Like Sakaar. And oh my gosh, where the Surfer was the Silver Centurion.
Exactly. But
no, not the Silver Centurion.
Silver Savage.
Yeah. Silver Centurion is an Iron Man armor.
Costume.
Yeah.
Hey, it happens. But what I like about the idea of an ever-expanding Marvel Universe is if you take a character like Silver Surfer, he is the light to send him out into the furthest parts of the Marvel Universe where we might find the next 10 years of stories.
Right, and it's happened.
And it has happened. And that is interesting to me with, I'm not a huge fan, but Null and all that stuff. And I know that the Thor books and the Surfer books, they're kind of like that, I think that the Cosmic Marvel is Thor the last.
Donnie Cates is doing all the Cosmic Marvel.
It's epic.
I mean, Donnie Cates and I
they
think
should give him FF.
Is Jerry Duggan still doing Guardians?
It was
or is it Al Ewing?
It was Al Ewing.
Okay,
wasn't it Cates for a minute too?
Cates did it. He did like 12 issues, I think.
I would like to see Donnie Cates on Fantastic Four.
I would too.
Here's why: because he is cosmic as fuck,
and cosmic is FF.
That's their thing. But anyways,
you know what's really awesome is when you put Beta Ray Bill and Silver Surfer together on a team called the Annihilators.
Woo!
Do you remember that? Do you remember when the Guardians were out of commission and they needed someone to protect the universe?
Annihilators.
So it was Beta Ray Bill, Silver Surfer, the Gladiator, Ronan the Accuser, and Icon the Space Knight, and they were the Annihilators.
Way overpowered.
Oh my! Well, they.
What if somebody turned bad in that group?
Arc 1 was fucking amazing because they basically cleaned up the Annihilation War on their own.
Yeah, those are some badass characters.
That's a badass team right there.
Now, Donnie Cates said that he has a plan for Silver Surfer in the next year.
I would say that's probably true.
I hope that. I want to see what comes.
I'm wondering if they're gonna touch on that. Oh my God, what we talked about it just the other day at the store. Not yet. Well, you have the Fallen one, which is
Void Knight,
the Black Silvers, and then the Void Knight. Now, the Void Knight is Silver Surfer covered in symbiote. Now, it only lasted a brief second.
But the Fallen one is
and then he
just
expelled
black.
it. But the Fallen one is what... But see, he was turning black. He was turning into the Fallen one, not because of Null. He was turning into the Fallen one because he was using his power cosmic before Galactus was even born.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
because
so...
he had to use the power cosmic because he was in the past.
Yeah, before Galactus.
Before Galactus could give it to him.
Yeah, so...
But that's odd because...
That's what was draining it. It had nothing to do with Null.
Yeah.
It's he was fighting Null.
He is the Fallen one right now.
That's what they call it. He's like ghostly. Have you seen how he...
yeah, he doesn't look good.
He's in Annihilation Scourge, and he just... Which was a great book, by the way. I loved it.
It'll be a hell of a skin on Ultimate Alliance 10 or whatever.
Yeah, he's like... He kind of looks like an oily water puddle.
He looks cool.
Yeah, because he's like black, but when light hits him, it's kind of rainbowy.
I want some more work.
I just created a word, rainbowy.
Rainbowy. You've heard of David Bowie.
Yeah, this is rainbowy.
But I think that it's awesome to see Beta Ray Bill in here.
Oh, I fucking love it.
And if you look closely, which we do, because it's our job and our hobby, Galactus has been in every Marvel preview for months now.
Galactus was just in Fortnite.
Yeah. Come on.
Galactus is all over the place right now.
I want to say that earlier we were talking, and I don't know if it was recording, that Kevin Feige kind of has these things lined up now, and he's the chief of Marvel Entertainment now, not just the movies.
Right.
So it seems like if something's happening over and over, that might be getting in line to push them.
You had mentioned Black Knight, how this seems to be the time of the Black Knight.
There's Black Knight everywhere I look right now.
Well, because Black Knight was supposed to have been in the Eternals movie that would have come out in November.
I think it's smarter to have it as a precursor.
I think it's smart to, you can remember this just like I can. There was a time where we weren't sure what was going on at Marvel, and the characters in the movies were not even reminiscent of what was in the book at the time.
Yeah.
And it was confusing to a lot of potentially new readers.
It's stifling.
Well, look, I even enjoyed some of those characters. Totally Awesome Hulk. And there's some great stuff that came out. Ironheart. There's a lot of good there. What I'm saying is, when what they're seeing on the big screen doesn't match what they can get in the comic shop, it doesn't lead to any kind of synergy. And I hate to use a buzzword like business bullshit buzzword. It's a
good word.
But there's no synergy there. And so I think now they're taking the exact opposite approach.
Yeah. Have the synergy.
Have it.
Well, Black Knight Curse of the Ebony Blade looks really cool.
Tell me about it.
It looks awesome. It says Dane Whitman is the Black Knight and wielder of the magical ebony blade. But the blade's power comes at a terrible price.
Yes, it does.
Dane forever bears the burden of its curse, an insatiable lust for blood and mayhem that constantly threatens to swallow its owner in darkness.
Man.
Must that be Dane's fate? Following against the battle in King in Black, a reinvigorated Dane has a greater sense of purpose than ever before. But this sword is the key to the new enemy's evil plan, and only the Black Knight can prevent the coming death and destruction. I mean, I'm sold on this.
I'm sold on it, too.
Not to mention a variant cover by fucking Ron Lim.
I saw that. And also, James Dismore totally called that, by the way.
He did, didn't he?
Totally fucking called that.
James?
Good job, James. I'm going to, round of applause for James.
It's not often that
James
Moore gets...
I mean, that was one of your, out of 5,000, you're batting 1 for 5,000, bud. Good job.
Hey, Venom's toes in here. No, I'm kidding. James is one of the cooler guys we've met doing this business.
Absolutely.
Also, a variant cover by, good job, James, Peach Momoko.
Peach Momoko. Woo.
That's awesome. But seriously, that looks cool to me.
No, that does look cool. I like that A cover right there I'm seeing.
I do too. Did you see anything else in here?
It seems like a lot of it's King in Black, which I'm not saying I'm not for it. I was actually very tempted to read the Black Panther just because of Jermaine Peralta's art. He did the Maestro book with Peter David.
Hard to beat old Jermaine, isn't it?
Jermaine Peralta's awesome.
Whoever's doing the covers on Captain Marvel is epic.
Yeah, who is it?
Marco Ciccito?
Yeah.
Look at that cover.
I was about to say, yeah. Oh, wow.
They need to be on Spider-Man. And
need to be on Spider-Man. Come on. I think Patrick Gleason's on Spider-Man right now, and it couldn't have been hotter.
Mark Bagley's in the interiors.
Interiors?
How'd that happen?
Wait, Mark Bagley's back on Spider-Man?
Bagley's done Spider-Man in the last few issues.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
I wondered if he was happy.
Speaking of Spider-Man.
Yeah, when I looked through the previews, we've got Spider-Man 61. It doesn't say the date that
it's coming out in March.
And then we got Spider-Man 62, where Spider-Man is completely silhouetted out, and it says classified.
Now, that's the variant that's classified. That is the Dustin Weaver variant.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
It sure is.
Oh, it's that other cover they're showing, the standard one?
That other one next to it's the actual cover to the book.
Well, that's 61. This is 62.
Yeah, 62 has the variants by Dustin Weaver. Those are not the standard covers, though.
Awesome. Oh, you're right. Neither of them are they? Anyway, so this stands out to me, but all it says here is Amazing Spider-Man 62, and then in bold letters, new costume debut.
I mean, that's really, really subtle. It says classified right on it, too.
I know. It's kind of funny.
Now, this costume has already made the rounds on the internet.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen it. I don't know why they bothered to black it out here.
Patrick Gleason is on... No, he's on interiors now, I guess.
Yeah, he's in...
But Bagley's doing them. Well, he was recently.
I think 55 is that the one that...
legit.
Isn't 55 the one that just came out?
56 is out now, and Bagley does the cover A.
Okay, well, Gleason, I think, started with that 55 cover, and now he's about to be taking over the book.
It says he's doing the interiors now.
Yeah, I saw that. So
that's cool.
So it's a new Spider-Man costume, and it's designed by Dustin Weaver. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
It's designed by Dustin Weaver, who is actually known for Dark Horse KOTOR comics.
Really?
Which I absolutely loved. He's done TMNT, X-Men, the Avengers. Nick Spencer had a hand in designing it, current ASM writer, and Nick Lowe, the editor.
Okay. So Steve Wacker's out of there?
Steve Wacker's not the editor right now.
I got in a fight with him.
And then Nick Lowe is actually the vice president of content at Marvel.
Wow.
So he's been promoted.
Now, this takes us to the meat and potatoes of our show today.
Which is about Spider-Man's
costumes.
I've seen it, Alex. You've seen it. It's a very strange looking costume. It's white with like gold highlights.
I would say it's gray and gold.
Oh, gray. Okay, maybe it is gray. And then it's got the blue in it.
But we encourage you to look at it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Look it up. I'm sure it'll be the cover of this episode.
Yeah, well, I'll just make it that way.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is Adam and I thought it'd be cool to talk about other Spider-Man costumes.
Absolutely, our favorites.
Now,
then our least favorites.
Right off the bat, we have to get it out of the way. Disclaimer that the symbiote Spider-Man costume will not be part of this because it is the greatest alternate costume of all time.
Of all time, without a doubt.
It is a strong contender for being better than the classic one. It really is.
It's up there.
It's that good.
It's a great
If you swapped roles on him and he debuted with that costume, and the red one was the alternate, then you'd be like, fuck the red one.
Yeah, you'd want that black one.
Okay, that's just the truth, right?
Yeah.
Even though the red one's pimping with the webs on it.
Totally.
I mean, it looks badass.
I love it. I love that
too.
Steve Ditko costume.
You know, the webs really make it Silver Age.
Yes, they do.
Because they make it quirky.
They make it stand out, though.
There's no costume like that.
No.
There's no costume like Spider-Man.
I mean, it's iconic. I guess, well, Superman's and Batman's are iconic.
Yeah. I mean, there's just
Possibly, I mean, and Wonder Woman's.
You're right. I mean, there are costumes that evoke that same feeling.
Iron Man.
But when you look at Spider-Man's,
all of them.
There's not a costume with a similar look. I mean, because the webs.
That's good.
I mean, everyone has the midriff thing that
where
comes
it comes
down.
Yeah.
But I'm talking, and everyone has their logo on their chest.
Pretty much.
But Spider-Man being a masked hero, and we've gotten used to it, it was special at the time, just like the thing with the Fantastic
Still
Four.
is.
It was special at the time, not showing any skin.
That's right. Not showing any. I mean, he's not going to be hailing any cabs.
Yeah. And his mask and his costume is iconic. Having said that, the black one's really badass.
The black one was so badass that they made it its own character.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
years later.
Yes, years later. Made it its own character.
So just off the bat, we're not talking about the symbiote.
I mean, obviously,
Spider-Man.
we're both going to pick that as our favorite costume.
And we can't do that.
I mean, alternate. Now, we're talking alternate costumes here. Obviously, the best one is the classic. But
while we're on that, what is the best version of the classic one?
Ooh. Are we talking about like the red, black, or?
Here's the criteria.
Okay.
Eras of mask.
Okay.
Like how his eyes look.
Oh, either large or small.
Eras of color. Eras of webbing.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about particular artists?
Pretty much. If you look at it as a super fan, you can go, well, maybe Pete's changing it up. You know, he had big eyes sometimes, and he has little eyes other times.
Sure.
And sometimes he's black. Sometimes it's blue. You know, that's how I look at it. It's fun to look at it that way.
I mean, maybe that is what it is. You know, so I've actually heard it said that they reflect his mood.
That's really
that Pete's costumes are basically a mood ring.
The only thing I got an issue with Spider-Man's costume is they've referenced this in both the movies or all sets of the movies, is how could you make that badass costume without, you know, some kind of degree and stitching and shit. You know what I mean?
With all the webs on it and shit. Who knows?
It's bad as fuck looking.
You probably couldn't.
I mean, in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, it kind of looked like a basketball.
I didn't like that. No, not just the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
That's the raised webbing.
Yeah. Oh god. That's awful.
In the second version with Andrew Garfield, it's very textured.
It's got a texture,
but the webs are inverted.
Yeah.
Well, that's even harder.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
You could add web to it and it would puff up, but inverting, like his webs go inward.
It would have to be made. It had to be manufactured somewhere.
So that's tough.
It's like a Batmobile. It has to be manufactured somewhere.
And I know, you know, like Jared said to me once, you can't believe Mandalorian could have a mustache, but you can believe in the little green wizard.
Yeah,
and I was like, yes, that's what I'm telling you. But you know, I don't have to suspend disbelief to know he made the costume. I don't give a fuck. It looks cool. But what's your favorite version?
Man,
before we get into the alternates,
wow. There's so many to choose from. I mean, obviously, when I think Spider-Man, I think my mind automatically pulls up John Romita Sr.
Yeah, mine too.
Even though I like the red and black color scheme better from the earlier Ditko stuff, but when I think of Spider-Man, I think of like ASM 39.
That's awesome.
That blue cover with him fighting Green Goblin.
40's the one.
And then 40.
Where he's standing over Green Goblin.
And that one's awesome too.
But he's standing like a boxer.
There's something about 39 that it's the color of the sky.
It looks like a cake. It's like a birthday
There's
cake.
something epic about it. And so when I think Spider-Man, that's the first thing that comes to mind. So I'm going to have to go with John Romita.
So you immediately see him gagged and bound.
Yeah.
John Romita Sr. is the bomb. It is the quintessential Spider-Man.
So you feel the same way?
You know, my emotions are all over the place.
Yeah,
when we
mine
talk
too,
about
honestly.
it, because I'm going, well, I really like Eric Larson's Spider-Man, and as you know, I love Mark Bagley's Spider-Man. Tom McFarlane's Spider-Man. Amongst the best ones is not my favorite one, but it's still, they all have a place for me, and they all mark a time.
I really like Chris Bacalo's, and I like
Chris Bacalo's badass.
I know that. I mean, there's a bunch of them.
I like Ryan Otley's.
I do too. Oh, I love Ryan.
I mean,
Otley's.
It's got a vibe.
Oh,
man.
I love Ryan Otley's.
You know, and I've been real hard on
Nick Spencer,
Humberto Ramos. Through the years,
right? Yes, you have.
He got his shit together, though.
You think?
In his Spider-Man designs before he left the book were some of his best work. Now, he did something that was unprecedented. He went back to the little eyes.
He did.
And that...
But his would open and close and wink and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
and I don't
something
like
I
that.
never really
but,
liked.
You know, when you talk about the eyes being mechanical...
Yeah,
then that
if
makes
they
sense.
are mechanical. So what... Now, are you a big eye, little guy? I know that when you draw him, they look like saggy old lady tits.
Yeah, well, I've always laughed about the saggy old lady boobs that McFarlane puts on his face. I like medium eyes.
So somewhere in the middle.
And that's what I like about Bagley's. Now, towards the end of Bagley's initial
they're
run...
They're huge!
No, yeah, towards the end of his run, they're way too big.
They're like most of his face.
Yeah. When he first debuted on Spider-Man,
yeah,
there's a cover...
Is that around 361?
It's a little before that, and Nova's on the cover.
Okay, I know the one. Yeah,
the Human Rocket.
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, and he's like got his hand out.
Mm-hmm.
That is the quintessential. I don't think of that when I think of Spider-Man.
Right.
But
that's the one you love.
But for me, that's my favorite one.
Okay.
But that comes down to his art style, and he's not as good as he used to be in that department.
Well,
they all change. If you're not changing, you're dead.
And that's true. And then also, even the guys from the 90s don't look as good colored modern.
No, they don't.
That's a weird thing. Modern coloring does not play well with those guys.
I agree completely. I want to be able to tell people to look at that cover, and I'm not sure which one it is.
Isn't it 327?
Amazing. No, McFarlane's still on it.
No, it's 3.
Amazing Spider-Man.
357?
You think so?
353?
Man, he was on fire at this point. But damn, you're right. 352.
352, okay.
That is not the cover I'm thinking of, though.
Oh, well, that's the one I was thinking of.
Oh, I'm mixing these two. So, 351 and 352 are just some of the best artwork on Spider-Man. If you look at his body,
I know
at the
Tri-Sentinel. Fucking fighting the Tri-Sentinel. That's the one I was thinking of.
If you look at the way he draws Spider-Man, the eyes aren't too big. And they're kind of a callback to the Ramita.
I'm pretty sure that anyone that was a fan in the 90s loved
that look.
Mark Bagley.
Yeah. And I love that look. Now, the next one, 352, just the positioning, the muscles, everything about it is amazing.
That's the one you were thinking of.
Yeah. I just love it. Now, having said that, when he gets on to Ultimate Spider-Man and things, and I know he changed
He was trying to differentiate.
I know,
though.
and it just doesn't look right.
No, I love USM may be the most solid comic book story from beginning to end that I've
It's
ever
really
read.
good.
As far as being about a mainstream character.
It's really good. So, when I think of Spider-Man, it's not always Bagley, but I think he's my favorite artist for Spider-Man.
I'm pretty sure he is your favorite artist.
For Spider-Man. But I think my favorite is the black and the red, the Steve Ditko.
The Steve Ditko one. I mean, that is that's an awesome look, and it was kind of duplicated or replicated in Far From Home,
which I thought was awesome, and it had a white spider on the back.
It did, which is a little weird, but that's okay.
It looked cool, man.
It did. It actually looked good. So
I think with that out of the way,
yeah,
I have written down a few costumes.
I've got another stipulation here.
Okay, what is it?
They must be worn by Peter Parker, not Miles Morales.
I actually did that.
Not Miguel O'Hara.
I did that because I went, 2099's first suit's really badass.
But that's not Spider-Man.
It's not Peter.
That's not
And
Peter
when
Parker.
I talk about Spider-Man, no disrespect to Miles or Miguel.
I know, but
it's all Peter for me.
I'm talking.
I like the Peter.
Well, I mean, we're talking classic.
Yeah.
Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm going to start with the honorable mention.
Give me your honorable mention.
Advanced suit from PS4.
That's your honorable mention.
Yeah, when I first saw the white spider, I was taken aback. But I really like that costume. It's really cool looking.
I never wore it in the game.
I don't blame you there.
As soon as I could take it off,
because you had the choice to wear something else.
When I got to the animated one, I never wore another one.
I feel that. What I saw, when I saw the game, I really liked the animated Spider-Man.
That's the one I went with.
But he was wearing that because Doc Ock designed it, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was in game. Like he's like, "Oh, I'm working on it for my friend Spider-Man," and Doc Ock's like, "We can make that better."
Well, that's cool. So that's my honorable mention. Now, I also want to say, before I say the Spider-Man costumes I like, my least favorite, that Peter Parker wore, is the Ends of the Earth Spider-Man costume.
That's your least favorite?
Yeah, I hate it. But I think I mostly hate it because I don't like Dan Slott.
Yeah, that's the one. Now, that's in the game, too.
It's in the game, too. It's called MK Armor 3.
Yeah.
Or Armor 3 MK.
It's one of those.
I don't know what MK means. I think
Mark. Probably Mark, like,
Mark.
I mean, just like, like a Stark armor,
Yeah.
Mark.
Well, Mark 3 Spider-Man armor sucks. I mean, it was in a storyline of like maybe 5 issues, and I was losing it at that point, and I just hated the costume. In my younger days, and you know this for a fact, any changes to Spider-Man were unacceptable to me.
I know. You used to throw big fits about it.
Yeah, any changes to Spider-Man were unacceptable. But in my adulthood, I'm like, they'll always go back to the regular costume.
Absolutely.
So I'm just rolling with the new costume.
Sure, I am too.
And I'm not even reading monthly. I mean, it's not, in my opinion, good enough to read.
Oh, now. I don't know, man.
I'm real hard on it.
I've read some. It's really good.
What I read, I didn't like. The Kindred stuff, I didn't care for it.
No. My honorable mention is, and I think this still counts as Peter Parker, is Ben Reilly's sensational costume.
Oh.
And I say that still counts as Peter Parker because
sensational costume. What do you mean by that?
When it was Ben Reilly's when he was the sensational Spider-Man.
You're talking about not the Scarlet Spider, but the Spider-Man.
I'm talking about when he was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one
the big spider.
It's got the big spider on it.
I didn't even mark that down, you bastard. I forgot about that.
I'm considering that Pete because it's Ben Reilly who
is Peter Parker,
a clone of Peter Parker, and at that time they weren't even sure who was the real one and who was the clone, and so
is that costume not in the game?
And that's a Mark Bagley, I do believe.
Yeah, it is.
Mark Bagley designed that.
I love that design.
That costume is fucking rad.
I can't believe I'd forgot about that.
Since this is such a visual thing, talking about costumes, I'm definitely going to post visuals with this. I will definitely make a video to go along with this.
The Mark Bagley costume that you're talking about is one of the best Spider-Man designs.
It's a cool redesign. It's a very cool look.
Love the fingers.
I do too.
Yeah.
Kind of Gambity.
Yeah, very.
But
it's cool though.
But that's my honorable mention.
Damn.
When I was thinking about him, I'm like, that's still Pete. I mean, it is Ben Reilly technically, but
it was Pete.
But
though.
Ben is Pete.
Ben's Peter though.
Yeah, Ben. I mean, it's just Ben after Uncle Ben, and Riley was Aunt May's maiden name. So.
And, as we get further and further, I don't hate Ben Reilly. He's
right.
Peter Parker.
I mean, it was an interesting story at the time. It went on a little too long.
Too long, yeah.
The clone saga is too long.
So that's your honorable mention?
That's my honorable mention.
Do you have any costumes that you like or dislike, or did you write anything down?
Oh, yeah, I've got plenty.
Okay.
I've got 4 on my love.
Well, I wonder, should I read my list and you chime in when we match up, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, and if you don't mention the ones I've got, then yeah.
Okay. Now I only wrote down the ones I like.
Yeah, that's fair because I mean,
there's 22 variations.
There's way too many.
Some of them are like he wore one thing for like half an issue,
which I did pick one of those.
Okay, number 8 on my.
God, you got 8 of them
that I did
because I only got 4.
I actually have 9 of them.
Damn,
is the original armor. Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man 100.
That shit's so busted.
It's so fucked up, and
it breaks in that issue.
Do you know who he was fighting?
No, I don't. I don't know. I've read that piece of shit. Who did he fight?
Like the new Enforcers or something?
Oh God, yeah. And they like he builds it special for that issue, and it was like this big thing. Like it was on the cover and everything, and then it instantly breaks.
Yeah, it's immediately broken.
It just like shatters.
and you guys have got to see the cover. A Web of Spider-Man 100.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to make a visual for this.
Yeah, and he's facing the new Enforcers. I think that's what it is. Yeah, somebody that you never even heard of again. The new Enforcers.
Everything about that. Actually, that's in the game.
That's Dragon Man.
Dragon Man's
Super
awesome.
Adaptoid.
Super Adaptoid's badass.
Dreadnought.
Okay, never mind. These are actually cool.
Vanisher.
Okay.
Tangle. Blitz.
I don't know about
Eel.
Blitz. Damn.
Plant Man. Thermite. Mentallo, not Metallo. Mr. Fear. Fixer. And Madam Menace.
Holy shit.
See why he had to have that costume?
Yeah, and they break it instantly.
Yeah.
I don't know what he made it. I don't remember what he made it out of, but it was shit.
Not adamantium.
No.
And there is a fan base.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, because...
there is a fan base for that costume. And that book sells for $15, $20.
I can't believe... Is it because of that?
Yeah, people like it.
But it also has something to do with Night Watch.
It might have.
It tells
something to do-
Nightwatch's
yeah,
origin.
You might be right about that.
I know
But
it does.
Web of Spider-Man 100, I know I bought it at the supermarket.
I know that me and you collected change out of the couch to go buy that. I know we did.
Is that on your list?
No.
Okay.
That is a shit costume.
My next one, you guys, anyone that's met me, you know that I have a certain fashion sense. I like all black.
Oh, shit.
Now, I'm not talking about the symbiote suit.
Yeah, you're going with stealth, right?
No.
Oh, wait, not the green one.
Dusk.
Oh, Dusk is the shit. I
Yeah,
love Dusk.
When Peter...
Now, Dusk was on my honorable mention list.
Okay. Dusk was a costume that was used by the greatest warriors of the negative zone to fight for freedom from their oppressors.
I thought Dusk
it was later used by Peter Parker to pose as a mercenary while he secretly tried to prove that he had been framed for a crime that he didn't commit. First appearance, Spider-Man Volume 1, number 90.
Right. So
Dusk is cool looking.
I remember the Dusk costume was available on the PS1 Spider-Man game as an unlockable costume.
It's cool.
And it was the shit.
Isn't it cool looking?
It was the fucking... I love Dusk, yeah.
Hey, where it says classified looks like Dusk.
That looks like Dusk, yeah.
I like Dusk, and you remember at this time, Peter it was a story called Identity Crisis.
I do remember, because he had the Hornet.
He had the Hornet, he had
Ricochet.
Prodigy.
Who you called Ryko Chick.
Yeah, I was just going to get to that.
Yeah.
So it's Prodigy, the Hornet, Dusk, and Ryko Chet, which I remember saying to Dad, why is Spider-Man going by the name Ryko Chet? And he was like, it's Ricochet.
He was like, what the fuck are you saying to me?
Now, didn't Trevor say he got his name from that?
I think he did say that.
I think he said that. That's awesome. Props to Trevor. Just talked to him the other day, actually.
That's awesome.
You got another one?
Well, yeah, but I thought, are you going to go through yours? Or you want me to jump in here?
All right, I'll go to number 6 then.
Yeah, go for it.
Armor 2. And this is one of my favorite Spider-Man artists, Marcos Martin.
Oh, Marcos Martin's badass.
And he was on the Dan Slott train, but damn, it looks so good.
He was during the Gauntlet, though.
Yeah. The second version of the Spider Armor, dubbed Armor Mk2 Mark II.
Now, this one I'm not familiar with.
Is created by Peter Parker and Horizon Labs to protect him after he lost his spider sense.
Oh.
It's chainmail up through his neck.
I do remember that
and
one.
It has a yellow spider.
I thought I didn't remember it,
but I
do.
Black face with yellow eyes.
Now that's in the game too.
It is in the game.
I'm pretty sure.
Lots of this stuff's in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's pretty much black and chainmail.
I do remember that
And
one.
it's
Yeah,
got
that
yellow
one
eyes.
is cool as fuck.
It's
That's
cool.
a good one.
But what's cool is his neck comes up pretty.
It's got a guard on it.
Yeah, it's got a guard on it.
Yeah.
That first appearance is in Amazing Spider-Man 656. Is that on your list?
No. And was that a one-off costume? Just once?
I think it's in like 3 issues.
Okay, that's cool.
This is a one-off that I loved, but I was reading comics at this time. Amazing Spider-Man 425, Electro-proof.
Oh my god, insulated. That's what I always called it, insulated. But yeah, that's a bad motherfucker.
Made by Peter Parker and Amazing Spider-Man 425 was a way to combat Electro after he overcharged himself.
Man, if you go back to what's Electro's first appearance? It's way on back there.
9.
He just webbed up his hands. He just shot webbing on his hands and just punched him. But yeah, Electro got overcharged and he couldn't even get close to him.
Yeah.
So he built that insulated suit with had padding in his ribs and all over
the
him.
Insulation Spider-Man suit is so cool looking.
Did that make it into the game? I feel like it did.
I don't know. I didn't play it long enough.
I feel like a version of it made it.
And that's not on your list.
That is not on my list.
Oh my gosh. What'd you write down?
I've got some.
Give me your number 4.
Okay. Now this is a one-off, maybe in 2 issues. It's from Spider-Man Deadpool number 8, 2017, where it's not a stealth. I mean, it kind of is, but it's a black costume, solid black, red eyes, red spider. It looks a lot like the original concept art for the black costume.
The symbiote.
It basically is. I think it's kind of a throwback to that. It's a really cool looking costume. This is Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness in the Spider-Man Deadpool book. And I think it's in 2 issues, but Spider-Man teams up with Deadpool to try to rub off on him, right? To try to make Wade a better person. But what ends up happening is Wade does become a better person, but Pete becomes a worse person from hanging around with Wade.
I like that.
So, he's kind of aggro in this issue. It's kind of like Spider-Man 3, like he's a little emo in it.
Emo.
But the costume's the shit, man. Yeah, I think it's a throwback to the original design of the symbiote costume.
I do too. Wow, I like that. Well, I did not have that written down, so there you go.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my fourth place one.
All right. Well, my fourth place,
Mhm.
since we're halfway for me, is Superior Spider-Man.
Oh, going with Doc Ock in Pete's body, but it's still Pete's body.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is still Peter Parker. Though.
Yeah, I mean it is.
The Octavius's redesign of Spider-Man's
like it.
costume. Now, having said that, and that first appearance is Amazing Spider-Man 700. I was pissy about him dying. You know,
I remember. I remember. You even threatened a man.
I'm always pissy about it, but because it seems like their only move is to kill Spider-Man
Or Mary Jane.
or replace him.
Or
And I don't like that. It's
Yeah.
like, come on, let's do something else. Let's make him grow new arms or something.
Oh, yeah.
Something new.
Man Spider.
But a little fun trivia here is this costume was designed by Alex Ross.
Was it really?
It was designed by Alex Ross for the Spider-Man Sam Raimi films.
No shit.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And so they ended up using it.
They ended up using it.
Well, it is
it's so
really
cool looking.
It looks a lot like the Miles costumes based on it. Some
A little bit. I like the black eyes, which it harkens back to the movie stuff.
It really does. It really looks like
where he's wearing. Well, Nicholas Hammond's Spider-Man movies, he had the black eyes because they're just sunglasses.
They're just sunglasses. Yeah.
And they were kind of fucking around with that in the Spider-Man designs for the films, and even in Amazing Spider-Man, his eyes are black,
right?
Because they're sunglasses.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're like glasses lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, like reflective
lenses.
Yeah.
If you look up Alex Ross Superior Spider-Man, you'll see he designed this thing in like 99.
Oh, no shit.
Something like that.
That's cool.
And it's in a bunch of things. And when I first saw it as Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man, I went, damn, they finally used that costume.
That's
it's cool
awesome.
looking.
It is a cool looking costume.
I like the toes,
Mostly black.
Yeah, but the toe's cool because it like has a claw on it that hangs and stuff.
Yeah,
it does really cool stuff. Do you got that one on your list?
I do not.
All right. What's next?
My next one?
Yeah.
Now, this is Peter Parker. It may not be 616 Peter Parker, but it is Peter Parker. House of M.
Damn.
Spider-Man costume.
I didn't put that one down.
Designed by Salvador LaRocca. It's a 5-issue miniseries about Spider-Man in the House of M. And I just really dig the way it looks. It's kind of, if you took classic and mixed it with 2099.
It really is, isn't it?
It's got the face on it, but it's in the classic coloring.
Yeah, I really dig
It's
that.
a really neat looking costume.
I really dig that look right
I mean,
there.
I know it's not technically Pete, but it is.
It is Pete.
I mean, it is Pete.
Yeah,
it's just
Pete.
House of M Pete. It's the universe that Scarlet Witch built for them.
Yeah, it's still Pete.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
still
it
Pete.
is. It's just, hey, it's a very happy Peter Parker. And that's the costume he designed for himself.
I like that. I got another honorable mention.
Oh, what you
because
got?
I've only got 3 left to go.
Okay.
1602 Spider-Man.
Oh, that's I like that. Okay. Okay. I didn't even think about that one.
I really like that. I don't have the first appearance or anything written down.
1602
number 1.
Number 1 or 2,
Yeah.
I think.
But it's like Victorian era Spider-Man costume.
Definitely, yeah.
It has little ruffles around his neck. He can see out of his eye holes. He's basically wearing like what you would equate with like a North or South military outfit.
It looks like,
but it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it looks like a uniform.
It's got the spider on the back. I really, really enjoy it. And
that is a cool costume. That I didn't even think about that one.
And I had one other one, and that's is a Paradise X.
Oh, now that I like that
the
one.
The fat Spider-Man.
The fat Officer Parker.
Officer Parker.
I
like that one.
Man, that's a great storyline right there.
It's really cool. I like those. Do you got? Before I go to my top 3, what do you got?
Well,
I bet.
So I'm in my top. Wait,
You're in top 2.
No, my number 3, Iron Spider.
Okay, you're in my top 3 now.
Amazing Spider-Man 529 from 2006.
Yeah,
designed by Joe Quesada and Chris Bacalo.
I love it. I love it.
The Iron Spider from the books is way cooler than the Iron Spider.
So much cooler
in the movie.
So much cooler.
I mean, it's just the colors are ugly in the movie.
Yeah, I mean it works.
It doesn't bother me. I can look at
it.
Right,
but the damn gold and red Spider-Man costume
the
is
one that's
awesome.
Made to look like an Iron Man costume. Cool. Like,
well, that was my number 2.
Oh, that was your number 2?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so I better go with my 3 and then my 1 and see if they line up with yours.
Yeah.
My number 3 is also Ben Reilly, but it's the Scarlet Spider.
Oh,
costume.
okay, like the one with the hoodie.
The one with the hoodie.
That's
now,
a cool
I don't
one.
like the belly hoodie. They did change it
The
later.
half hoodie.
Yeah, I don't get into that
I've never
Tommy Ramone looking
Stood
hoodie.
the half jacket.
But the hoodie in general with the sideways spider on it.
I like that one.
I like it.
That's
I like that he's wearing a whole red costume with no webs on it, and then a blue hoodie.
A blue hoodie over
It's
the top.
cool, but
Now-
his web shooters are showing.
Now, doesn't that make it into the game?
I don't know.
I feel like Scarlet Spider was in there. I could be wrong, though.
So that's Scarlet Spider, where you said Spider-Man as Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
So that's cool, but it is still Peter Parker.
That is still Peter Parker.
And if you're looking for that issue, and boy, it's hot. The Web of Spider-Man 118.
No shit.
Because Ben Reilly basically was one of the Spider-Mans in Into the Spider-Verse. Because if you recall, one of the Peter Parkers was blonde.
You're right.
Yeah, and they didn't call him.
That's the
Ben
one that
Reilly.
died at the beginning in
call-
Miles' universe.
They didn't call him Ben Reilly, but he was blonde.
He was blonde.
Yeah. So my number one,
Okay.
outside of the symbiote,
I think you're gonna have either. You're gonna have one of the two I have.
Future Foundation.
I knew it. Yeah. I mean, Future Foundation. Is
It's awesome.
Just the shit.
It's
though.
awesome. First appears in Amazing Spider-Man 658.
It actually his first appearance is in FF1.
Well, I mean in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
Actually, I looked up a few things and it said its first appearances in Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh well, the thing I read said it was in FF1 2011.
That's odd. There's
that
a
is odd.
discrepancy here.
Anyway,
And
designed by
they could both be right. You know how that goes in comics.
yes, and it was designed by Steve Epting.
Man, Steve Epting's a beast.
He
isn't
is, and it was during Jonathan Hickman's FF run.
I know. Costume was given to Spidey upon joining the Future Foundation as part of Johnny Storm's last will and testament.
Man,
Of course, he's not dead.
I mean, him stepping in there though was just wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
wow.
looks cool
What a
because
costume.
where we love the visual of Spidey with the black suit and the white eyes. In this one, we got the white suit with the white eyes.
Now you do,
and it does have a stealth mode.
I was about to
that
say, you
turns
remember,
black. Yeah.
it inverts itself for stealth.
I love it. And it's in the game.
Oh, is it in the game?
Isn't it? In one of his games?
I don't know. Future Found. I know Ghost Spider was in there, which was stupid.
Yeah, that's stupid.
But
Ghost Spider's Gwen.
So, you know what I have to say now that I'm sitting here, that I should have went with the Spider-Man Captain Universe,
Oh, that's awesome too.
the Cosmic Spider-Man.
Damn,
like
that's
the-
awesome too.
You know, the one that has like the atoms all over
Yeah,
him, but he's got the cut in his mask.
He has one little piece.
Yeah,
of
one
mask.
little piece of his mask.
Damn, that.
Now that I'm gonna have to throw that in there for honorable mention. I
Yeah.
love that Captain Universe Spider-Man.
There are so many.
But
cool,
Future Foundation,
Yeah.
besides the classic black, that I had that as my number one. So did you. Now that's how awesome that costume is.
Yeah, and how in synergy we are.
Yeah, no shit.
Damn, but you didn't expect me to have Scarlet Spider.
I
in
did
there.
not
I
expect
know.
Scarlet Spider.
Yeah.
No.
When I really look at it and separate myself from how pissed off I was like, man, that's a cool costume.
Well, I felt the same way about Ben Reilly, Spider-Man initially, but then when looking back at it, you go, that's a badass design.
Yeah, it's a really cool design. There was a bunch of other Spider-Man costumes.
Yeah, there's a shitload of them.
I like those stealth ones.
Some of those are really cool.
And they're Humberto Ramos. When one it
Yeah.
lights up orange or green.
Yeah. And those are both in the game.
Those are cool, man.
Yeah.
Those are cool. 2099 is not Peter, but damn, that's a bad one.
Fuck
Even
both.
The,
I was gonna say,
the
now-
second one looks cool.
I will say that 2099 has the worst Spider-Man costume. The one with the roller skates.
What is up with that?
Connected to his feet and all that. Now that is the worst Spider-Man costume
It's terrible.
of any Spider-Man of any time. That's
awful.
I will definitely have to post a picture of that rotten garbage. I hadn't even seen it until Jared bought it the other day.
Right, it's bad.
It's terrible.
bad.
It's in like
I've seen it in
I
another
think it's on
thing.
the cover of Spider-Man 2099 number 18 and 19.
Now, yes, that's right.
Awful.
I want to tell the
Awful.
listeners there's an issue that Adam got me for like my 12th birthday or something called Sensational Spider-Man Zero.
Yep.
This is during the
Because I
height.
got you the sketch variant
Yeah,
too.
this is during the height of the clone stuff.
Mhm.
But it is Peter Parker, Ben Reilly, deciding on his costume, and there's a 2-page gatefold of him designing Spider-Man costumes.
Mm.
Is one of the coolest.
I bet that is cool.
One of the coolest things ever. It's like one, he has a cape, and the other is like he's got a big metal arm.
Okay.
Now, there is the future Spider-Man where he's got Deathlock's eye.
Oh, my God.
And the
Cyborg Spider-Man.
I mean,
Man.
there's Spider-Man with multiple arms.
Of course, there's Spider-Hulk.
There's Spider-Hulk. I mean, there's Spider-Carnage.
There's some... Spider-Carnage is a cool costume.
Spider-Carnage is badass.
Now, that's Ben Reilly possessed by Carnage, right?
I mean, there is so much cool Spider-Man stuff that it's not fun.
Yeah. And then, I mean, like we already said, the black one.
It's epic.
So this new one, though, I'm excited about it. I think it's cool looking.
It has a Taskmaster feel to me.
It's because of the colors.
Yeah.
The color schemes absolutely makes you think Taskmaster. Now, here's something interesting about it. Dustin Weaver, who designed it, said in an interview that they being Nick Spencer and Nick Lowe, they reined in the weirder, more techie features I was bringing and helped create something I think is simple and both futuristic and classic. What do you think about that?
I'm trying to find a picture of it on my phone here.
Yeah.
And when I typed in new Spider-Man, it gave me Miles.
Of course. Which Miles' costumes are awesome, but I just didn't put them in
Miles'
here because
costumes. We did mention Miguel.
I mean,
Miles' costume is the shit.
Both of them.
Yeah, I love it. I'm trying to find this. I don't even see it anymore.
Oh, just type in new costume 2021.
There it is. So when I look at it, he's got a white or silver mask.
Yeah, I'm not sure which.
With black eyes with seems to be digital lights in them.
It does seem to be digital lights.
The spider is on the same color with gold spider, like the eyes, and blue or black sides. The boots are the same as the mask and the spider. When I look at it, I immediately like it.
I do too.
I don't dislike it. You know, there's a difference in liking it, and there's a difference in disliking it
and
being. It doesn't matter. Like being indifferent. To it.
Sure. There is.
I'm not indifferent to it. I like it.
Okay.
You know, like if I didn't feel anything when I looked at it, I'd be indifferent to it. I know that they're trying to excite people, and I think it's cool. It's time. It's time for something. I hope it goes with a storyline that gives it a reason to live.
Okay, so this costume must be worn by Peter to battle the Kingpin. Now, it doesn't tell you why.
Well, that's interesting because there's a lot of Kingpin stuff going on in the Daredevil title that I wonder if it ties into this.
Well, it's something to do with he has to wear that costume to fight the Kingpin. Now, that's interesting to me in and of itself.
And why does he create this thing?
That's all it's so far it's classified or whatever, but it does mention it's created to battle the Kingpin. Okay,
in the solicit it says Kingpin makes it personal with Peter Parker and New York City will pay the price. Another fuse lit more than 30 issues ago reaches an explosive destination.
So there you go.
I feel like that costume is to protect him from an explosion.
Or something. It's something.
I don't know, but whatever it is, my hope for it is that it is cool enough of a story that this will resonate with fans, and we might want to see Peter not wear the classic suit for a little bit.
I'm gonna say it's not gonna last that long.
5 issues.
I would say, yeah, most Spider-Man costume changes don't even last that long.
Yeah. Here's what I'm excited about, and I told some people that were complaining about it in the store. I said, you better believe that this change is to pump sales for the eventual comeback. This is a setup.
Without a doubt, we know that it's coming back.
Yeah, the eventual the money is in getting him back in that other suit, but you got to feel like you need to see him in it.
I mean, he's had whole events based on his costume, like Back in Black.
Yeah,
like that is a thing. Like there was a long time where
it was cool.
Matt Gargan had Venom, and it didn't look like Venom anymore. And finally, Peter went back in black, and it was like a thing. I mean, so Peter changing costumes has often been the point of storylines.
I like it. I'm a fan of it. I'm gonna pick it up and read it.
I'm gonna check it out.
If it impresses me, then I'll stick around.
It's coming in March with issues. It actually is going to debut in issue 61. but it won't make cover appearances until 62 and 63, and they're just variants.
Now listen to this though. We're at number 63. By the time we get to 100 and 101, are we going back to number 1?
Oh shit! I would say maybe 75 even.
Yeah, so it's good.
I mean, I feel like when they change writers, it'll go back to 1.
62 is a lot, though. I mean, that's a lot of issues.
Of course,
it's been twice
a month the whole time.
But I mean, really, 62 issues is pretty.
That's a pretty good run these days, especially on an established mainstream character. Most people don't get to go that long. Now, like Immortal Hulk's at 40.
I mean, the most recent Marvel relaunch, reboot, whatever you want to call it, has been very successful.
It's done really well. And it's done really well in our store.
Yeah.
I can't speak for everyone else, but
well, it's kicking ass. I'm excited. It takes a lot to get me excited about new Spider-Man stuff, and I am a tough audience for Spider-Man.
You are. I mean,
I bet I am.
You don't even fucking read the shit.
I keep up with it. I don't. I'm not impressed.
I mean, you're just real pissy about it, like
I know, real shitty.
Yeah,
about
you're
it.
just real cranky and cantankerous about Spider-Man. It's like you'd be like, Alex, you should check out Friendly Neighborhood. Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's how I am.
Just check it out.
Isn't that bad?
It's fun.
Well, I'm having fun with that little mini comic.
That's cool. I mean, but that's old.
Yeah, I want to like it. Nick Spencer something's off with him.
I like his writing style.
But 62 issues, I haven't read 62 of them.
Yeah,
I read like 10 of them.
Well, I mean, I was reading it. I think I dropped off. Well, around 7 or 8 because we started selling them out.
Yeah,
before
I
we
read
got the
number
numbers
24 with Kindred, and it just wasn't that good.
But that wasn't the reveal of Kindred, though.
No, but it was just.
I mean, you know who Kindred ended up being.
Yeah, stupid.
Well,
it's not good at all. It's always that.
He's been dead forever.
But it's always that.
Well, at least it wasn't Norman.
Yeah, basically.
I mean.
It's always that.
It could have been worse.
It's always the same. So that disappoints me.
But it's someone calling up very personal things. Like, it had to be someone close to him.
Yeah.
I mean.
I was reading
At least it wasn't Uncle Ben.
Reading some comic book talk, and it's like all these creators are doing their version of Spider-Man that they grew up with, and that's why the villain reveals are always the same.
That makes sense.
Like, everyone wants their Joker run.
Sure.
And
that's what they've been thinking about since they got into comics.
Yeah, and everyone wants their Green Goblin run, but I'm like, I fatigue is not the right word, because if it's done right, it's going to be epic.
Absolutely.
But I feel like there's more in the world. Like, let's do a Chameleon story. Let's see what the Shocker's doing. I mean, let's see what's happening. Do you remember during the Gauntlet where they had an episode? I know about Mandalorian too much.
It's easy to do.
Where they had an issue about the Shocker.
Yes. And
he was stuck underground with Spider-Man.
I loved it.
It was one of the better.
Drawn by Marcos Martin.
And written by Mark Waid.
Mark Waid, who's another phenomenal
Mark Waid
writer.
is the guy I'm waiting for Spider-Man to come rescue Spider-Man.
Waid could do it. There's a lot of talent out there. I don't know. Damn, it's hard to say who could. I don't think Spider-Man needs rescuing necessarily. But
Nick Spencer isn't the end game, is he?
Nobody is.
I know nobody is, but
hopefully, right? If someone's the last writer of Spider-Man, it's because Marvel's gone.
Yeah, I know. But I gotta say, just looking at 62, I'm impressed, because I go, wow. I've only read
seeing that number.
I've only read 10 of those, so. For him to I know it must be selling well, and it sells well in our store.
It sells really well in our store.
They would swap it up.
Yeah, of course.
I guess maybe I'm jet lagged from Dan's lot. I stayed longer than I should have.
I think that's fair.
I stayed longer than I should have.
I will always believe that Joe Kelly should have been the one that came out of that, out of the gauntlet with the book.
I think it should have been Mark Waid.
Well, now Mark Waid went on to do some great shit with Daredevil, though.
And he created like Incorruptible and Irredeemable and all that shit.
So, I mean, Waid has done awesome work since then. But, I mean, no doubt Waid could handle Spider-Man. I mean,
just felt right.
Actually, Waid wrote that House of M Spider-Man.
Just felt right, didn't it?
Well, he's got a vibe.
Yeah, he does. I like to see Kurt Busiek.
I was going to say Kurt. Yep,
Damn,
I
he
was gonna
did
say
Untold Tales of Spider-Man.
That guy's awesome, though.
Now, that if you're looking for a gift from me in 2021, that's stuff that I've never really read.
Oh, the Untold Tales?
I've read, a few of them.
The thing is, I can't order anything that you don't see.
I know. There's a run of Untold Tales, and have you ever seen them trade in?
No.
They don't come in.
No.
People keep those Untold Tales because they're Kurt Busiek.
And they actually
Silver Age.
fit into the Silver Age, too.
Silver Age
I've read them before.
People love them.
I've definitely read them, like where it'll be like issue 2 of Untold Tales is like between ASM 2 and 3.
Also, I want to say
That's
there's
good
a Spider-Man story. I think it's from Web Spinners. And is like
Web Spinners had some interesting shit in it.
About the Rhino getting surgery and being the smartest man in the world.
Yes. Wait, was that Web Spinners? That was a great one if it was.
Gosh, I can't remember.
What was the story in the Gauntlet? Because he had something. I remember him sitting. He's wearing like a tuxedo, and he's
the
got
Rhino.
Like
the Rhino
monocle
story, and that was great too.
Yeah, that Rhino story.
That wasn't the same.
I think you're right. It must have been Web Spinners. Yeah.
Well, I don't
because he has to give up his intelligence for some reason. Though.
I don't have the information, but yeah, it was good.
Oh man,
damn, it was good.
Man, Web Spinners was a weird series.
It was like kind of like a Black Label thing, like DC's doing.
Yeah, like adult.
Yeah,
I mean
more adult. Heavier concepts.
Yeah, heavier themes.
But
it was really good.
I'm excited about Spider-Man. I'm going to pick it up at 62.
It's coming out in March,
and
I would definitely pick up 61 because everything I've read is like the costume first appears in 61. You know.
Yeah, it says Spidey gets a new look in 61.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Let's see if maybe it's great. I'll come back on this podcast and say I love it. Or I don't like it.
I love Pete fighting Wilson Fisk. I've always enjoyed that.
I like Wilson Fisk. I like his son, the Rose, too.
Oh, the Rose was cool. Now, but didn't Wilson kill the Rose?
I think so.
Yeah.
I was big on that Hobgoblin era.
Oh shit!
Like where Spider-Man was kind of fighting criminals, not super. I mean, they were. A Hobgoblin has no power.
He's always fought criminals.
Yeah, and I mean, I like that. And Spider-Man went through a really terrible time in the Bronze Age with the Gibbon and the fucking
Razorback,
Rocket Racer. There's I think one's just a frog. The frog.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a bunch of animal themed terrible villains.
And I was reading how that happened. Actually, I was listening to Robservations, which is Rob Liefeld's podcast. Love him or hate him, he's lived through all this stuff, and he has an inside story for all this shit. And he said that they put out the verdict that you got to make new Spider-Man characters, but nobody wanted to.
No one wanted to make it for hire.
Yeah, so they made a bunch of shitty Spider-Man characters.
Yeah, that's evident.
and
Morbius being like the last big.
Morbius is the last cool,
and that's at 101.
And 114's Hammerhead, and I kind of like him.
I like Hammerhead.
But then it's a long time. It might be 238 before. Before another
right.
great
and that's
character,
Hobgoblin.
And that's
so,
Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
And then they hit a hell of a run there in the 90s. I like Cardiac. I like Cardiac.
What is Cardiac's deal, though?
I don't know, but we're going to do a character feature on Cardiac.
I like Cardiac. His costume is terrible. It's so 90s.
If he didn't have the mouth,
it's so 90s.
He'd look great.
Yeah. He looks like a weird punching bag rock'em sock'em robot guy.
I like Cardiac and I like Sleepwalker.
Oh, Sleepwalker. I actually really do like Sleepwalker a lot.
I do too. I'm not kidding at all.
Sleepwalker's a really interesting concept. I hate slapstick, however, from around the same time.
I do too. I hate the first Fool Killer.
Oh, Fool Killer. What is that shit?
Fool Killer.
What is that shit?
I don't know, man. I don't. Boy, Razor Fist. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't. What? He looks like Rob Halford.
Yeah, he does. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. Count. Well, I think that's my Spider-Man conclusion.
All right, guys. I think that about wraps this motherfucker up.
Yeah. Just like those presents I didn't get you.
Hey. Well, that's all good.
I put your gifts in a bag.
I know, it was pretty cheap. But
I'm not about... I
cool.
mean... You do the measuring and all that shit when you...
I do not.
You don't?
I do it all by eye.
Really?
I mean, I am very particular. Look, if I'm going to take the time to pick out a gift for someone, put it in a box, and then I'm going to put paper around it, then yeah, I'm going to take the time to make sure it's a good job.
This year I had real good wrapping.
You did.
Yeah, but not on your. No, I did wrap yours.
No, you wrapped mine.
Yeah, I did wrap
No,
yours.
that was it's fucking awesome. I've still got your note over there sitting behind you.
Oh yeah. Me and Adam always do notes to each other.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
like,
yeah.
man, I love you.
I love you, brother.
I love you, and thanks for everything this year. But
Yeah.
we do more than talk about comic books.
Every once in a while.
When things get serious, we hug each other.
And we do. We hug each other when things aren't serious.
Yeah, we do. But guys, thanks for following us. Last year was crazy. We're planning on getting your T-shirts and your stickers out.
We've got to.
Yeah. Well, there was a mail delay.
I know. And then Sean Hayden just upped his patron benefit to $10.
Wow. Patrons, you guys have been great, and Adam was able to get some stuff to upgrade our studio.
Yes, I have bought some new equipment, new microphones. I've got some like studio acoustic foam coming in. I'm going to be doing some work down here in the studio to make this thing sound better. Also investing in a little bit of video equipment. Got some lights, got some things. I'm going to be doing videos of the reviews to try to get my hands dirty with editing video and audio, and then we're going to move this into a video podcast.
A vlog.
Yes. So I'm just trying to get used to it.
Which you'll still have the audio available.
And patrons, oh yeah, absolutely. And just thank you guys so much for sticking with us throughout the year.
Man, we know we suck at mailing shit. We've been behind. But there was reasons that we fell behind, and that was because of the COVID horse shit.
And everyone's feeling those things across the country.
Yeah.
So,
but we're gonna make that up to you. We're gonna send out some really cool stuff. But you'll be hearing from us very, very soon.
Thank you all so very much. We appreciate you tuning in. This has been the first time Alex and I have done this by ourselves.
Crazy.
Weird.
That's weird, isn't it?
It is weird
because we do this all the time.
And you know what? Going forward, it may be a lot more of just me and you. I don't know.
Yeah. But it was fun.
Yeah,
and
it is
to
fun.
Fucking hear Eric burp and shit.
Oh, gassy munch.
Yeah. Yeah. But okay, guys, we'll see you down the road. Check us out at Infinite Collectibles 2704. 270-415-5859. You want to talk to me, you call us up.
Be sure you call between 11 and 6.
Yeah.
And ask for Alex.
Yeah. Later, guys. Thank you.
Keep it geek.